Last week, we got more than a bit busy baling some straw. And with our neighbours chasing our tails trying to get some cover crops in, we need to get a shifty on and move the rest. But that's not the only thing we've got on this week, so we best stop dilly-dallying and get on with summer.
I bet you can't guess what we're still up to. You got it. We're still moving bales. We have probably got about 450, maybe 500 bales left to move. Probably 450 actually. But we have got a lovely problem to have this year, which is that we are struggling for room. We've got to go and try and make a bit of space. We are up to here with the bale stack. So we're nearly at the end of the shed. We can pretty much go to the end of the gate there, which will bring us out somewhere here. So quite a long way out. So I think we should just about get them here. There's quite a few on the face of the stack, so yeah, I think we should get them there somewhere. Dad wants to move these so he's got a bit more room with stacking, so he can kind of come out in front of that wall there, because we don't really need that door ever to swing all the way around. When we're running cattle in, we're always running them that way from the cattle crush and the race. So that door, as long as it goes 90 degrees, we don't need to worry about it being flat to the wall. So if we can bring straw out here somewhere, we can get a few extra stacked on there. And then if we do run out of space, the next job will be to empty the rest of this silage pit with muck. I'm going to sneeze. Does anyone else do that? I'm really like photosensitive to the sun. So if I need to sneeze, if I just look up, doesn't have to be to the sun, just to something bright, can be a lamp, I'm going to sneeze. So we're going to take the rest of that muck out, which is the next job. And then we can stack straw in the back of there if we need to, but we're hoping that we don't have to. That's kind of, we'd love to be able to get away with not having to stack straw in there. We'll still move the muck though. For now, however, we're going to try and move these two with the grab. They have got obviously silage wrap in there and net wrap in that one, so I'm concerned that it might fall out the bottom, but we'll give it a go and see how we get on. I thought I'd stick them there because we don't often use these gates on the bull pens. We usually bring the bulls in the other way. So if they do have to stay there for a while, they shouldn't be in the way. I have got a bit of net wrap and silage wrap from earlier over here. I thought there might be a bit too much in that silage wrap because it was pretty heavy, but I think we got away with it. It's pretty important that we get these bales moved sharpish now, to be honest. The neighbours are wanting to put cover crops in, I think, all of the farm ahead of spring cropping next year. So we've got to get it cleared so they can get in here with the drill. They were drilling ground away from here, and then the plan was to come here. They did kind of mention that it might be this week. We're a bit behind, I suppose, because I wasn't here for 2 days last week. I had a very important top secret meeting that I can't talk about, genuinely can't talk about. And then I was actually judging Beef Farmer of the Year to officially pass on my baton to the next one for 2025, it was an honour to judge it, but sad that it's going to be over for me. I'm thinking about getting a t-shirt made because I will no longer be Beef Farmer of the Year. I might get one made that says Beef Farmer of the Year this year. That'll make me feel better every time I wear it. But I do want to get it cleared so the neighbours can get here and get drilled, mainly for my own benefit, that if we get absolutely desperate for grazing to the point where we are really struggling, and we get later on in the year, maybe January even, and they've done their term, I can then start pestering for some grazing and maybe actually turn cattle out on it. I've not even passed this by them, but you know, it's just an idea. Because grass is getting very thin on the ground. If we have another couple of weeks of this drought, we're gonna be in some serious dire straits, I think. Now we've got all this straw, I'm not as concerned about winter feed. Don't get me wrong, I'm not willfully going to be throwing it around willy-nilly, but we've got options now. we can do stuff with straw. There's things we can do. We're going to sit down with a nutritionist and get this all worked out. So I'm not as panicky as I was, but I'm still not great about it. However, I am starting to concern over grazing, because we are down at grass growth of about 6 a week, 6 kilograms per hectare per week. And the cows are just massively eating into our farm covers. And the herbal A's are not particularly growing. As you can see through that gateway there, they've kind of gone and stagnated. The only thing that can grow there is fat hen. And we are getting really short. It is getting to the point, if we have another couple of weeks of this drought, we're going to be struggling. And now my concern isn't as much getting through the winter. I think we can probably wangle that some way or another. My concern is getting to the winter. Some people have mentioned to me ammonia treated straw, and as much as I'm very pro ammonia treated straw, there is not anyone within a reasonable distance that is going to travel here and actually do it, because there's just no one's got the kit. I don't have the time nor the capacity to be able to buy the kit to go and do it for other people, so that rules that option out. Yeah, it makes ammonia treated straw a little bit tricky for us to be able to do, and we're going to start eating into the sort of stocks of hay and silage if we don't have too much, you know, in the way of rain in the next few weeks. But the cows are looking fantastic. Here's a few. They've just come to the side of the house. A bit bellowy, but they've just moved here. The calves I'm chuffed to bits with. They're absolutely thriving. They love a bit of sun on their backs, and they're doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your horses, just wait there a minute, I've got something to show you. Yep, you guessed it. Another balloon. Oh my God, it's covered me in stuff. Chaff everywhere. This one is extra special because this one is taking us up to 49. Dad had 2 in his cab. Last week we got to 46, so you add them 2 on, 48. That one's 49. We are 1 off the 50. And we got 3 weeks to find it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find it. I think we're gonna get there now. I can't see that we're not. I was actually hoping it would take a little bit longer than it has. But there she is. Drum roll and or trumpets, please. There we go. Number 50. Unbelievable. 50. When I set that target of 50, well, it wasn't a target, like I didn't want to get there, but you know what I mean? And I thought, see if we can get to 50. I thought I was being optimistic, but now we're at the point of going, well, how many can we find? We've got till the 16th of September, and then we're gonna do the calculations. How many of these bloody balloons are across this country? It is actually bizarre to me that people just let these things go. And I know I've said about it multiple times, but when you think about how crazy it is, we have McDonald's putting like paper straws now in their cups, and they try and make everything kind of compostable because of plastic. And then we've got
the lids on your squash bottles are attached so that the lids don't come off the bottle when you go to recycle it. And then there's just this unheard of, unspoken about mass of balloons everywhere across the countryside, and it seems like no one cares about it. People just let them go. It's almost a done thing. And in real terms, of the 50 that I've found, every single one, I believe, has been one of those foil kind of balloons, one of these. You don't get the latex ones, because the latex ones, when they get popped, are so small, they're like this big. You don't find them. The only time I've ever in my life, I think, found the latex ones is, you know, when you have the balloon arches. I found a whole balloon arch once, years ago, across the meadows, because they were all attached, still blown up. So they're there somewhere as well, and no one sees those. So all I'm finding is these ones, and you think how many of the others there must be floating around, just popped somewhere in the hedge or in the soil or in the ditch. It blows my mind that no one has brought this to any attention at all. It really frustrates the life out of me. I mentioned earlier that the neighbours were going to come and start doing a little bit of cover cropping. You can just see them there, the other side of the hedge, chasing me. We are officially running out of room for bales. We have got a bit of a bright idea though of how we're going to get around it, because we've only got about 100 left in the field. We've actually got a few more stacked in the big stack than we thought we were going to. It is also now 9 weeks since the bull's been in. So we're going to take Barracus out, and because Wizard has had that bit of lameness, we're going to go and take Wizard out and put Barracus in for 3 weeks just to try and cover anything that he's not serviced. But actually I think he's got on all right. So we're just going to get everything sorted out here so that we can run everything in and get Barracus out of the heifers. Oh, for God's sake. Dad's already altered the fences, so we've moved the cows out of there and the heifers have walked themselves down. My ride is here. Here he is, big boy. You got to go for on your holidays, mate. A bit more of a sesh. I'm pretty chuffed with these heifers though. They look fantastic. I'll shut this gate so that they can't get back. Come on, lad. I'm going to try and get the big lad out of there and put him in there, and then we'll have to have a swap round with the others afterwards. They're down the meadows, they're going to take a bit more getting. Let's see what we can do. I'll see if I can push him through. He's in the middle. Where is he now? He's at the front a bit. If I can get some of these gone. Come on, go on girls, go on girls, go on girls, go on girls. No, no, no. 2, 3. That's it, that's it. Here he comes. Here he comes. Go on, go on. Come on, boy. Big boy. Go on in there a minute. That's it. Go on. That was close. Honestly, he didn't kick me then. He just slipped on the concrete. I thought he was going to have me out. But he's such a docile boy. He's so lovely. And it amazes me how he's held his flesh. He looks fantastic. These heifers look really good too. And if you're wondering which black heifer had a bad foot, I think it was this one here the other week. We've jabbed it up. Perfect. So just a little bit of foul. Antibiotics done the trick. I don't like using antibiotics unless we absolutely have to. But obviously it worked, which is good news. Come on out then, girls. Back to your house or your field. Come on, ladies. Off you go. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Good girls. Well done. These girls have had 9 weeks of the bull. In an ideal world, we'd only give them 6, but we're trying to increase numbers, so giving them that extra cycle didn't seem like a bad idea. However, if they're not in calf now, we don't want them, so they can go. We'll give them a PD check in not too distant future. And we're not going to be lingering too long with the PDs this year either, because with the grass being short and winter forage being short, can't afford to really keep them. They're going to have to go as soon as they're going to have to go. Come on, girls. Come on.
luckily for us, Wizard stayed at the back, so we've managed to get him in a different yard. And the cows are down the gangway, so I'm going to let Barracus in. Come on, big boy. Time for you to shine. Here we come. Go on then, lad. Go on out. Good boy. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. That's it. Oh. I know he was expensive, but he is bloody impressive. He's a lovely bull. We'll take him back down the field now. We can have a good time if there's any of these girls that haven't been covered. And Wizard can take up his place firmly on the bench in the paddock for the next 3 weeks. And hopefully we won't need him. So what we've done is we have, rather than start moving the muck, because that's another job started before we finished one job, we've decided to bring the bales up here and stack them at the top of the yard. We are hoping to make a little bit of silage. We've got some shut up, it might even be next week, but we can move the muck and then stack the silage down in the silage pit if we absolutely have to. But rather than start one job without finishing, we thought we'd finish this job because the neighbours are busy chasing us and I think they want to get the whole farm in before we get any sort of rain. And there is talk of rain on the horizon, which is, well, we can all be hopeful, can't we? There's about 100 or so stacked there now, and that'll be pretty much everything in. If we need to get any more, we can stack them here, and then everything else is down the bottom in another big stack. Now we've got pretty much all the straw in. We've got a load of wheat in the shed that we've bought off the next door as well, and I really need to sit down with the nutritionist and hash this out, work out exactly how we're going to manage through the winter. It might mean me eating my words and buying a used tub mixer. If we look in here, we've got a load of wheat ready to go. So that's there. We've got some rape meal. We've got all our minerals and everything here, limes, flowers and whatever. So I think if we feed straw and we feed a combination of the wheat, the rape meal, maybe something moist, so a molasses or brewer's grain or something like that, that's just going to dampen a mix, because everything we've got is very dry and it'll probably stop intakes a little bit. So if we can just get something moister in there just to improve the intakes, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll manage it somehow. But yeah, it's probably going to be feeder wagon for material, because I can't mix all that stuff up in the bucket, because the bucket's fantastic for dry cereal if you've got a good quality forage to go alongside it. We haven't got the forage.
When I played cricket, I always dreamt of knocking up a tally of 50. But this wasn't exactly what I had in mind, because by the end of bale carting, we were actually sat at 54 not out. A tally that a younger me would have been very proud of. Until next time, Baldy's Farm, over and out.